If you believe you have any information pertaining to this case, you are urged to contact the Regina Police Services Cold Case Unit on 306 777 6500 or at rps@reginapolice.ca. Alternatively, you could contact the Saskatchewan Coroner's Service on 866 592 7845. You could instead contact the National Centre for Missing Persons and Unidentified Remains at Canada's Missing-Disparu Canada at rcmp-grc.gc.ca. If you wish to remain anonymous, you may contact Crime Stoppers on 1-800-222-8477 or online at canadiancrimestoppers.org/tips. This video features discussions of suicide. Viewer discretion is advised. At 3:38 p.m. on the 28th of July 1995, two Canadian Pacific Railway employees witnessed a young man emerging from a ditch on the south side of the train tracks at a crossing at 13th Avenue and Courtney Street in Regina, Saskatchewan. When the engineer of an approaching train blew the horn, the man in question did step back. After some deliberation, however, he seemed to change his mind and promptly laid down on the tracks, positioning himself directly in the path of the eastbound 4-locomotive freight train hauling 104 boxcars. The crew were unable to stop the train in time, and the man was killed upon impact. His death was ruled a suicide. He carried no means of identification and few personal effects. Though his fingerprints and dentals were circulated, no matches turned up, and to this day, over 25 years later, his true identity remains a mystery. The man was white and estimated to be between 18 and 30 years old at the time of his death. At 5 feet 9 inches or 5 feet 10 inches tall, he weighed between 140 and 160 pounds. He had neatly cut, coarse brown hair a tad shorter than collar length and blue eyes. He was clean-shaven. His fingernails appeared manicured and his toenails were cut short. On both his upper front teeth, root canals had been performed. Stretch marks on his abdomen at either side of his navel suggested he may have rapidly lost a significant amount of weight at some point in his history. It's noted he had sparse chest hair and had been circumcised. Evidence indicated he smoked heavily. No apparent tattoos were noted, though scars on his wrists showed he may have attempted suicide at least once before, or self-harmed. He wore a long-sleeved black or blue denim Rough and Tough Shams brand button-up shirt with an embroidered logo of a gold crown inside a circle with a capital C in the center and two branches of leaves crossed at the bottom on its left front pocket, a grey t-shirt bearing the words Boca Authentic, faded Essentials brand blue denim jeans, white socks, and white and blue Reebok brand high-top basketball running shoes. Though he wore a 12.5, his actual shoe size was measured as being 9 3/4. In his possession he had a silver brooch in the shape of a rose, sometimes referred to as the Christmas rose, which he kept in the pocket of his jeans. Also found in his jean pockets was a comb, some tissue, and $45.05 in cash. In a rucksack he placed on the roadside shortly before taking his own life, he held several items of clothing and other personal effects. Among these items were a yellow t-shirt and a blue t-shirt, one of these from Padova City Resorts Incorporated, which was a company based in Kamloops, British Columbia, a book of Stephen King's short stories, a copy of Under the Volcano by Malcolm Lowry, an open pack of Du Maurier brand cigarettes, a green Bic brand lighter, and a pen bearing a CUNC Health Services Society logo. In late January 1996, 6 months after the unidentified male's death, A transient named Randy came forward to say he believed he'd crossed paths with the decedent during the week leading up to his death. According to Randy, the two met on the 22nd of July in Strathmore, Alberta, and hitched rides together to Swift Current, Saskatchewan, before arriving in Regina on the 24th. Some sources state the unidentified man called himself Brian, yet others say he went by Dave or David. For clarity's sake, I'll refer to him as Dave, as that's the name earlier sources give. Dave had, quote, impeccable manners, and was conscious of his personal hygiene, always making an effort to appear well-dressed, well-groomed, and clean-shaven. When eating at McDonald's, he'd make sure to spread a napkin over his lap. Randy got the impression Dave was from a, quote, very well-to-do family, despite the latter carrying little money when they met. Dave himself adamantly refused to talk even vaguely about his family, from whom Randy figured he was estranged, perhaps due to a fight. For a little while, the two men looked for work as carnies at Saskatchewan fairs. Dave didn't seem familiar with street slang or drugs, and hardly knew how to hitchhike or find shelter, indicating he wasn't a habitual drifter. Using a silver fountain pen, he wrote in a diary every day, which has never been located. He enjoyed reading Stephen King novels and liked discussing politics. Randy thought his music taste was, quote, preppy, and said he carried a tape of the Lion King soundtrack. He had extensive knowledge of the ocean and claimed he'd come from back east, which made Randy believe he hailed from somewhere on the east coast. Randy also recalled seeing Dave with an Ontario birth certificate. Dave mentioned he'd recently gone through a painful breakup with a woman named Kathy, after, he implied, she left him for another man. Of this, Randy said the following, quote, she burned him, dumped him, really did a number on him. All he could say was she deserves what she got and he can keep her, which I assumed meant that he was going out with her and she took off with another guy, unquote. Police think the rose brooch the decedent was found in possession of may have belonged to Kathy. According to Randy, Dave seemed particularly fond of a rose-shaped brooch, often taking it out of his pocket to work it between his fingers. Before they departed company, Dave's last words to Randy were reportedly, I'm sick of everybody. 4 days later, the former was dead. In April 1996, the decedent was buried in the southeast portion of the Riverside Cemetery in Regina. His gravestone, donated by members of the community, reads as follows. John Doe, died in a railroad incident July 28, 1995. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened. Matt 11:28. Until a formal identification is made, police have said this case will remain open. They believe the victim may have been from either the Maritimes or New England, and that he may have travelled through Ontario before his death in Saskatchewan. To reiterate, he is believed to have used the names Brian, Dave, and/or David. It's also alleged he was, at one point, in a relationship with a woman named Kathy. A number of missing people have officially been ruled out as being this decedent. A list of these rule-outs can be found in the description of this video. Again, if you believe you have any information pertaining to this case, you are urged to contact one of the following. The Regina Police Service's Cold Case Unit on 306 777 6500 or at rps@reginapolice.ca. The Saskatchewan Coroner's Service on 866 592 7845. Or the National Centre for Missing Persons and Unidentified Remains at Canada's Missing-Disparu Canada at rcmp-grc.gc.ca. If you wish to remain anonymous, you could contact Crime Stoppers on 1-800-222-8477 or online at canadiancrimestoppers.org/tips. Thank you very much for giving Regina John Doe's case a moment of your day.